Contractor couple Curly and Sara Discaya will no longer cooperate with the Independent Commission for Infrastructure's investigation into the flood control mess. The contractor couple attended the commission's hearing on Wednesday, October 15. Following the hearing, ICI Executive Director Brian Keith Hosaka says the Discayas invoked their right against self-incrimination. Wednesday's hearing was the third time the Discayas faced the ICI. Curly is currently under the Senate's custody after being cited for contempt for allegedly lying before the Blue Ribbon Committee. He arrived at the Commission's office at around 12:50 p.m. on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Sara used the back door to enter the Commission's office at around 12:55 p.m. The contractor couple previously appeared before the Commission on September 30 and October 7. Following the September 30 hearing, the Discaya's lawyer said the couple gave a tell-all testimony touching on transactions and particular persons mentioned in their affidavit. In earlier congressional hearings, Curly and Sara Discaya disclosed the alleged collusion between lawmakers, government officials, and contractors in a kickback scheme involving infrastructure projects. President Bongbong Marcos announced that the Bicameral Conference Committee deliberations on the 2026 national budget will be live-streamed. In crafting the national budget, the Bicam deliberations have traditionally been held behind closed doors. Differences in the House and Senate versions of the budget bill are reconciled during Bicam talks before the proposed budget is sent to the President for his signature. In an interview with reporters on Wednesday, October 15, Marcos says the Senate and House of Representatives both agreed to live-stream the entire process to encourage transparency.
To further encourage transparency, I intend to live-stream the Bicam. So that's what I told them already. There is no more small committee. Yung dating ginagawa that they have a Bicam, then they suspend, then there's a small committee. Wala nang small committee. I have the agreement of the Senate President and the Speaker na ganun ang gagawin natin. We will live stream the entire process so that if there are questionable, shall we say, insertions or additions or all that, it will also be clear who moved, who made those changes or who proposed those changes, so that people will know.
The House on Monday, October 13, approved on third and final reading the 6.793 trillion peso national budget, which retained unprogrammed appropriations. The unprogrammed appropriations are standby funds that can be tapped only when new revenue or loans materialize. The House-approved version of the 2026 General Appropriations Bill contains 243 billion pesos in standby funds. The amount covers social programs, budgetary support to government-owned and controlled corporations, and foreign-assisted projects. During Wednesday's interview, Marcos was asked whether he finds the House version acceptable. Marcos previously said he would veto the budget if it failed to fully align with the government's national expenditure program.
I'm hoping and I'm fairly confident that that's not going to be necessary, simply because that we have been involved, I have been involved as you can imagine, I have been involved in detail on the preparation, especially in the House, of the budget. And as far as we have been able to examine, there are no projects that are listed there. There are no items that are listed there that are outside of the socio-economic development plan of the Philippines.
Civil society groups have called for the abolition of unprogrammed appropriations amid revelations that they have been used to fund anomalous government projects. House Appropriations Committee Chair Micaela Swansing earlier maintained that the House version already removed infrastructure allocations from the unprogrammed appropriations to prevent misuse. The Senate is expected to deliberate on its version of the General Appropriations Bill starting late November before convening the Bicameral Conference Committee. Senate President Tito Soto and Senate Finance Committee Chair Wing Gatchalian said they would move to scrap unprogrammed funds from the 2026 national budget. A Pulse Asia survey reveals that almost every Filipino believes corruption in the government is widespread, while the majority also think it is a normal part of the country's politics. Pulse Asia held a survey from September 27 to 30 using face-to-face interviews of 1,200 adult Filipinos. The latest survey found that 97% of respondents believe corruption is widespread in government, with Pulse Asia saying this view is essentially universal. Of the 97%, a vast majority or 78% even said they believe corruption is very widespread, while only 20% said it is somewhat widespread. Only 2% of respondents can say if it's widespread or not, while the remaining percentage said it is not widespread. Pulse Asia also asked respondents if they agreed that corruption is a normal part of politics in the country. To this statement, 59% of respondents said they agree, while 30% disagree. 11% cannot say if they agree or disagree with this statement. The survey likewise shows that a vast majority of Filipinos believe corruption in the government has increased in the past 12 months, with 85% believing so. On the other hand, 12% of responders believe the state of corruption remained the same, while only 3% said it has actually decreased. Recent investigations into anomalous flood control projects sparked public outcry, which led to massive nationwide protests on September 21, days before Pulse Asia's survey period. Filipinos protested against corruption in government and demanded accountability. Vice President Sara Duterte believes that it does not matter who prosecutes her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, before the International Criminal Court. She is reacting to a Reuters report that ICC prosecutor Karim Khan was disqualified from the crime against humanity case against her father due to a possible conflict of interest. In a chance interview on Wednesday, October 15, Vice President Duterte explains that the identity of the prosecutor is not what matters, but the defense team's readiness for the prosecution's evidence.
Sa prosecution naman kasi hindi mahalaga kung sino yung prosecutor kasi pareho lang din naman talaga yung gagawin nila na pag-iimbestiga, pareho lang din yung gagawin nila na case build up, no. So ang mahalaga talaga is ang preparation ng defense team ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa lahat ng mga posibleng ilabas na witnesses at ebidensya ng prosecution.
However, she admits that she has yet to read the decision on Khan's disqualification. The ICC has also yet to publicize documents about the decision nor directly confirm the matter. Meanwhile, ICC Assistant Counsel Cristina Conti is not entirely convinced there is a basis to disqualify Khan. For Conti, while Khan assisted a group of victims in sending a communication to the Office of the Prosecutor prior to his appointment, she sees no fundamental conflict of interest between the victims and the office. She notes that the team is not anticipating any significant interruption in prosecution work following Khan's reported disqualification. Earlier, former President Duterte's team appealed for Khan's disqualification from his case for supposedly failing to disclose what they described as a grievous conflict of interest.